I switched around to a front view. Just so you can see the background of what's going on. Yes, I'm wearing a padded motorcycle jacket. I've actually got 3 layers of pads on this elbow and 4 on this elbow. Even though I rarely fall, I often fall going very slowly. I've never fallen going faster than 25 kilometers an hour. And I've only gone maybe 40, 45 is the top speed I've ever gone, just for short bursts. But as I said, this is keeps me mentally sane, excited. I don't ride on roads because I think they're not my riding, but I just don't trust cars. Much like when I used to ride a motorcycle 35 years ago, it's just something I wouldn't do. And when we get down to the bottom, here, there's this incredible view, and it's kind of my connecting to nature experience I have basically every morning. I'm usually here a couple hours earlier, but it was kind of wet this morning, so I didn't come out till later on. Usually I'm out here by between 6:45 and 7:15 at the latest, and today I didn't come out here till like 9:10. Like I said, this is actually, this whole area, I've literally only discovered it about 12 weeks ago when I started riding this electric unicycle, and it's like a whole path system that's only starts 7-8 minutes away from my home. This is a structure, this is a sculpture called Passages right there. Look at that view, beautiful. Oh, it's God rays. Beautiful out there. And I kind of go along this path here that goes along the lakeshore, and I kind of see how the lake conditions are basically every single morning. This is actually tricky here because it's kind of bouncy, so what happens is feet tend to bounce a tiny bit, so it's like you have to really kind of concentrate. Even though I don't go that fast here, it's actually quite tricky. I mean, I giggle because I think it's funny, but I've had to bail and jump off there a couple times just because these are pretty big, kind of like broken bricks. But anyways, whoa. Look there. There we go. Beautiful sight. As I said, it's absolutely lovely down here. This part up here is just like a jungle. The bushes have grown so much in the last couple of weeks, especially with a lot of rain. It used to be totally clear, but now they are almost blocking the pathway. Scarborough Bluffs. I said, it's kind of like a jungle out here. I mean, I love it. And I find it amazing because I've been down in this area for like 6.5, 7 years, and I didn't even know it existed. I mean, I grew up in the neighborhood, but I just never, I don't even know how long this path has been here. Probably for decades. Just shooting this off my phone on the end of a little mini tripod. It's not stabilized or anything. Coming around this corner here, a few weeks ago I nearly ran into a big blue heron right here. And its wingspan is so big that when it's flapping, its wings are hitting each side of the bushes here for the first couple of flaps. They're amazing birds. They're almost like pterodactyls when you see them trying to take off. So kind of wide shot of me just showing me traveling along. This is me at like a, I actually cruise a little faster than this. This is like a really comfortable speed. Here's a good flat. If I ever go the fastest, it's right down this, actually this very strip right here. This is where I can hit maybe 45 kilometers an hour. The ground's, it's still got broken bricks, or sorry, broken gravel, but it's not that bad. I'm choosing to ride close to the bushes on the left here, because, you know, it gives more perspective, gives more sense of speed. It looks fast. I mean, it looks faster than I'm actually going. So I'm going about 25 kilometers an hour here. Maybe I'll just get up to maybe 30 here. There, this is maybe 30. There is an app that I can actually monitor my exact speed, but I don't have it on right now. There's warnings to this electric unicycle. It'll make a beeping sound when I get close to the upper limits of its speeds. So I just gave you a little tour example of my daily, I would almost call it like my daily meditation. As I take my daily ride to kind of sort my thoughts, do it early in the morning usually. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've become a morning person after spending most of my life becoming more increasingly a night person. In the last year, I suddenly become an early riser, and now I actually get up between 5 and 5:30, almost no matter what time I go to bed. And so I find I'm doing some work on the internet, and then suddenly at 6:30ish, when it gets slightly light, I find myself moving towards getting out and riding on my unicycle, which is the best time to ride anyways, because this path I'm on, you know, sometimes there's lots of people with their dogs, and every dog is an unknown mystery, so I always slow down to make sure the dog doesn't get frightened. And most of the dogs down here are quite good. Often on this pathway in the morning, I see lots of rabbits. So it always surprises me that I don't see a lot of more predators down here. But then a couple weeks ago, I saw a single coy wolf, and then I saw another coyote. So I think they were a pair actually. And they were out here during the day. Generally during the day, I said nothing out here. Some people said they've seen deer here and stuff, but I generally only see rabbits and an occasional mink. And sometimes, you know, in the sky I might see some hawks, but generally there's not much out here. It's just like a kind of isolated nature run or trail. I just said run because I passed a jogger. And again, I'm just balancing. I'm not sure if the camera angle's seeing it because I can't see the screen anymore, but I'm just balancing on these pedals. And the general centrifugal force, I think that might be it. Or, I mean, basically what happens is once the wheel starts turning, it has more of its own gyroscopic effect. So it actually wants to stay upright anyways, generally. And almost to the extent of the faster you go, the easier it becomes. In fact, usually as I said, often when I have to jump off of it, it's often going, I don't know, 5, maybe up to 12, 15 kilometers an hour. Usually it's even like 5 to 10 kilometers, and I just lose my balance because I'm going too slow. It's easier to go fast. I think you'd know this, obviously, because of your experience as a cyclist. You know, one of the things I'll never forget, Dad, is when you were showing me how you could just stop in motion. I mean, stop rocking back and forth at a stoplight, how you learned that trick. That was always like one of those really cool balance tricks that I never really got the hang of. That was something that I was like, my dad can do this, and I can't do it. I found that actually a little frustrating. It's like, how could he do something that I can't do, to be quite honest. Those are epic rays of God rays, as they call them, right? Beauty. Right, so even though I said it's a little more rain rutted than it had been for weeks, this is going up this hill that has some parts that are maybe, I don't know, maybe 15, 17 degrees slope, maybe even 20. It gets kind of steep in some areas, and then it kind of levels out a little bit, but As I was at the very beginning of the video, when I was coming down here, you saw that it was probably going, I don't know, 15, 18 kilometers an hour, but even though it's kind of bumpy, I'll just, as they say, lean on the accelerator here a bit, and probably get up to like 20, 22-ish. Maybe I'm going about 24 now. I'm going maybe 26-ish. And then I'm probably going at 27, 26-ish. I'm just estimating from my knowledge of the speeds when I've watched my GPS speedometer that I don't have on right now, but it gives me an idea, and I have a feel for what the speeds are when I'm going uphill. Here's a flatter section here. I can kind of get on speed, get up to like 6, 8, slow down just a bit here. Some people, so I just went past around 15 clicks an hour. Just be aware of it. To the left, I'll switch over here, go to the right, on the right, then I'll speed up on the afterburners, as they say, and this part's a lot flatter. It's probably like 10, 12 degrees. That's it. But yeah, I'm going like 24, 25 kilometers an hour. This section here, I'll probably spike up to 30-ish right here. That's probably 30, 31 kilometers an hour there. And it's another flatter section. I average 28 to 32 kilometers through this section. Probably only going like 27 right now. But it just gives you an idea of what it looks like. And this part here is quite steep. And the gravel is actually quite loose, so it actually gets a little slipperier when you go up. Get to the funnel here, which is just quite steep. You're seeing a wheel sliding a tiny bit, so you just got to stay balanced over the unicycle to get up here. But yeah, I'm going like 18, 20 clicks here. Most cyclists can't go up that because it's too steep for most of this hill.
So that was a little two-part video that I produced just to give an example for those who don't really know what an EUC, an electric unicycle, is, and sharing a little bit of my morning process every day as I ride along the lakeshore. Ciao!